On the 3rd of January 2020, Iranians mourned the loss of one of their most influential military generals, Qasem Soleimani. He was assassinated in a U.S. drone strike at the Baghdad airport in Iraq. The general was targeted as a terrorist by the Americans as they believed he was the brain behind the deaths of hundreds of American troops and yet was plotting imminent attacks.
Last week, we took decisive action to stop a ruthless terrorist from threatening American lives. At my direction, the United States military eliminated the world's top terrorist, Qasem Soleimani. As the head of the Quds Force, Soleimani was personally responsible for some of the absolutely worst atrocities. Soleimani's hands were drenched in both American and Iranian blood. He should have been terminated long ago.
The attack by the U.S. has not been taken lightly, as Iran has vowed severe revenge for the death of its general.
They violated the emotions of the people. They will get a response from the people. They killed one of our most revered commanders and most senior commanders, and they took responsibility for it. This is state terrorism. This is an act of aggression against Iran, and it amounts to an armed attack against Iran, and we will respond. But we will respond proportionately, not disproportionately, because we are committed to law. We are law-abiding people. We're not lawless like President Trump.
Early Tuesday dawn, Iran carried out a ballistic missile attack on air bases accommodating U.S. forces in Iraq in reprisal for the U.S. killing of General Qasem Soleimani. Several missiles launched from Iran hit 2 air bases in Erbil and Al-Assad, west of Baghdad.
As long as I'm President of the United States, Iran will never be allowed to have a nuclear weapon. Good morning. I'm pleased to inform you the American people should be extremely grateful and happy. No Americans were harmed in last night's attack by the Iranian regime. We suffered no casualties. All of our soldiers are safe, and only minimal damage was sustained at our military bases.
The U.S. and Iran are longtime enemies as far back as when Iran's U.S.-backed Tsar was overthrown and the country became an Islamic republic. That year, amidst the fallout from the revolution, dozens of Americans were taken hostage inside the U.S. embassy in the capital, Tehran. Relations between the two countries have since hit a snag. These two nations are key actors in the global oil industry, and for everyone, including Ghanaians, the major concern is the likely impact on oil prices. Pakwesi Anamwasichi of the Institute of Energy Securities explained the dynamics involved.
We are talking about a region that is home to major oil-producing countries like Saudi Arabia, Kuwait, Iraq, Iran, and a whole lot of them. The Middle East gives us about a third of the crude oil or oil that we consume on a daily basis. It's also a key energy supply route if we speak about the Strait of Hormuz. And so if the tension escalates, be sure that Iran will find Kuwait, Iraq, and maybe Saudi Arabia as obvious targets. If they batter their energy infrastructure, talk of pipelines installation, and the others, be sure that supply of oil will be disturbed. In Ghana, we are price takers because almost all the oil we consume, talk of diesel, petrol, and the others, we import. And so when the international price of this oil goes up, we are certain that we'll buy a little fuel the coming months at a higher price than we paid for in last year. We are also not doing so well with our forex. And so we have a very quite unfortunate situation at hand.
So with the two countries on a coalition course, is this a catalyst for World War III? Dr. Boni Yaogebi is an international relations analyst and lecturer at the University of Ghana.
So far, what I have seen from both countries, the United States and Iran, is that they are not being patient. Certain tendencies on the part of both, particularly the United States, because it's like once in a while they are very trigger happy. what they've done around the world. I would wish that international organizations like the United Nations can come in to actually see how best they can resolve the issue. Other than that, you never know. Anything can happen. Definitely Ghana, and for that matter, African countries should be concerned, because when we talk of international peace and security, Ghana is part of that pursuit of international peace and security. There are other angles to this, why we should be concerned. In the financial sector, already the prices of oil has shot up because of the volatility that is going on. 2, if it should happen that a full-fledged war occurs, then you cannot say anymore that you are immune, because we are part and parcel of the international community, particularly as a member of the United Nations system. Now, the African Union and its membership might have certain biases in this particular instance, and therefore we need to be very careful what we say and what we do, and not to incur the wrath of Iran and much more the United States.